There's a moment where you think things are finally starting to work. The bills are covered. The stress feels lighter. You feel a little more in control again. Then real life shows up. One problem, one expense, one bad week, and suddenly everything that felt stable starts slipping again. And after a while, you start wondering if the system ever really worked at all. What this feels like. 'Cause the problem is not usually one giant disaster. Most of the time, it is something small and preventable. Car repair, a higher bill, getting sick for a few days, missing work, one stressful week that throws everything off. And suddenly the system that felt stable starts feeling fragile. Not because you stopped trying, not because you stopped caring, but because everything depended on life staying calm. And that is the part people usually do not talk about. A lot of systems look strong right up until real life touches them. And that is the moment people usually start blaming themselves. 'Cause for a little while you really did think things were finally changing. Then one hard moment shows up, and it feels like all the progress disappears with it. Why this keeps happening? Most people build systems around their best weeks without realizing how little room they left for real life. The weeks where nothing unexpected happens, energy is high, motivation is strong, and every number finally works the way it is supposed to. But life almost never stays in that version for very long. Real life is messy. People get tired. Expenses pile up. Plans shift. Trust changes behavior. And if your entire system depends on perfect consistency, eventually something breaks. Not because you are failing, because the structure itself was too fragile. That is why so many people keep ending up back in the same emotional place. Because from the outside, it looked like things should have been working. Because from the outside, it looked like they were doing everything right. And honestly, that confusion can wear people down faster than the actual money problems. 'Cause after enough resets, you stop trusting your own progress. You start feeling nervous every time things finally begin improving. Like part of you is already waiting for the next collapse. And the strange part is, by the time everything visibly falls apart, the real damage usually started much earlier. What this leads to. After a while, this changes the way people live. Not just how they spend money, how they think, how they plan, how much hope they allow themselves to feel. 'Cause it becomes harder to relax when stability never feels stable for very long. Even good weeks start feeling temporary. And eventually, people stop building for the future entirely. They start focusing only on surviving the next problem. And over time, that changes the way people move through life. Not laziness, not lack of discipline, just the emotional weight of rebuilding over and over again. And the dangerous part is, from the outside, nobody can always see it happening. Someone can look completely functional while quietly feeling like everything in their life is one unexpected expense away from falling apart again. What to do instead? The answer is not trying to become perfect. That usually makes the problem worse. 'Cause perfection-based systems break the fastest when life becomes unpredictable. What actually helps is building something that expects interruptions. Something flexible enough to survive hard weeks. Kinds of weeks that usually destroy fragile systems. 'Cause a real system is not something that only works when life is easy. A real system keeps functioning imperfectly while life is difficult. That changes the goal completely. Instead of asking, how do I stay perfectly consistent? The better question becomes, how do I stop one hard moment from destroying everything? And honestly, those are two very different systems. Most people think the breakdown starts in the obvious moment. The missed payment. The stressful week. The moment everything finally falls apart. But usually that is just the first moment you can actually see it. The real shift often starts much earlier. While things still look mostly fine on the surface.